Morning and a warm welcome here to Gibraltar to the second day of the 2018 Netball Europe Open Championships here in sunny Rock. We're at the Victoria Stadium again today with our 5 teams competing over the weekend. Gibraltar, Israel and Republic of Ireland, joined by our 2 most recent member countries, the Isle of Man and UAE. Day 1 got off to a flying start with the Isle of Man overcoming UAE 57-47 in the opening match before our host Gibraltar defeated Israel 64-23 with the backing of a very loud and vocal crowd, which I'm sure we'll hear again today. Then earlier this morning we saw the Republic of Ireland take to the court for the first time in the tournament against Israel, a game they closed out 56-31. We're here now to watch the second game of the day, starting at 11:30 with Gibraltar taking on the UAE. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'm delighted to be joined here in the commentary box today by Genevieve Slater, captain of Ireland, and just come off the court in that first game. Jen, very much welcome.
Thank you, delighted to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're really pleased to have you. So we'll see the teams and the sheets going up in a moment. So Gibraltar played yesterday, a really good, convincing win for them, taking on a UAE side. We hadn't seen Isle of Man or the UAE before yesterday. Let me just tell you from the Gibraltar squad who their starting 7 are. So goal shooter Farah, goal attack Pozo, in at wing attack Janice Marino, her sister Joel Marino at centre, wing defence Kano, goal defence Reyes, and goalkeeper their captain Ravino. So starting with a strong squad they finished yesterday. Any thoughts about how you might see them play today?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I didn't get to see the match yesterday. I was actually travelling here to Gibraltar. We have played Gibraltar before, so I have seen them. It looks like there's a few girls that I remember, a couple of new faces. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going. They always improve year from year, I think. So it'll be good to see how they go today. Looking forward to it.
The UAE, one of our 2 new member countries, really proud to have such a growing region of netball family. Let me tell you, UAE squad up for you to see. Their starting 7 is goal shooter Donovan, goal attack Chase, Vickery in at wing attack, Lewis at centre, wing defence Richardson, goal defence Porter, and goalkeeper Flanagan, with their captain in there at the goalkeeper position. Interestingly, both teams captain from the back.
Yeah, interesting. I love that. Defenders, I'm all for it, being a defender myself. All for us. Yeah, I haven't actually even seen United Arab Emirates play before, but what's interesting, their goalkeeper Olivia, I played against her before when she played for Singapore 5 years ago when we were out there, so I definitely know her play, but not very sure of the other girls, so this will be interesting to watch.
So you're right about Liv Flanagan. She was also in the England under-17 long squad at one point. So
Brilliant.
Comes with a bit of a pedigree.
Well
Played
done.
really well yesterday, we saw. As you can see, the teams taking to the court. I think it was fair to say that the UAE was slightly disappointed with the 10-goal gap against Isle of Man.
I hear it was a good game, so hard fought.
Very, very good game. So Gibraltar and yourselves won't have played either of these 2 teams. It'll be interesting to see how you get on later today.
Yeah, we definitely haven't played them. Interesting to see what style of play they have. We find there's quite a difference in some of these tournaments between how each team plays. So yeah, we'll see later on today when we take on Isle of Man how they go.
We're just waiting for the umpires to bring the ball into the game. 4 games here at the stadium today, second one now. If you're joining us at home or anywhere in the world, you're very, very welcome. Remember, use our hashtag NEOpen if you want to give us your thoughts on the game or just give us some general feedback. We're all volunteers here, so we're not quite Sue Gordian's level and Caroline Baker, but we do our very best to bring you netball and where we are. So Sue, thanks for your tweet this morning. Glad you can join us, and here we go.
It's nice moving the ball there by Gibraltar.
Good take there by the young Amy Pozo. Previous most valuable player for the under-17s for Netball Europe.
Okay. It looks like both teams are come out firing, ready to go. Lots of hands over ball, which is always good to see.
Donovan. Good rebound by her. She'll be pleased. Talked yesterday, coached by two netballing greats, Ryan Henry and Lynn Gunson. So 1-1 here. Nothing to choose between these two sides yet. As you can hear, the Gibraltar home crowd really getting behind their team. Farah making no mistakes for her first shot. Chase finding Donovan under the post. 2-2. Marino finding Pozo. Good rebound position there by Jill Porter. Pozo hoping to go off to Leeds University, so might very well be looking to compete for a place in one of the Super League teams in England.
Good ball movement there by United Arab Emirates, opening up that ring.
Yeah, good understanding there by Chase and Donovan. UAE take a slight early lead in this very early stages of this game. 3-2. Great defense there by Captain Ravina, putting pressure on Donovan. Farah, long shot.
Great shot.
Crowd definitely getting behind their team here.
You always love that down the court when you see your shooters put up those type of shots.
Real early confidence in the team when that happens.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's so good to see when the shooters are okay and they are confident to put it up from anywhere, especially in those first 5 minutes. Really settles the team, allows everybody to get into the rhythm of the game. It's always nervous there at the first couple of minutes, especially when you're playing new teams. So sometimes you've just got to grind it out, play steady, patient netball.
So Gibraltar 4-3 in the early stages of this quarter. Only 4 minutes on the clock so far. Nice reaction there by Marino. Oh, good rebound by Flanagan.
Good defence by then Gibraltar, forcing an overlifted ball. Well done, goalkeeper.
That's a couple of times they've put the long one in, the UAE, just not been on. But Ravina really putting pressure on Donovan. Obviously done the homework overnight.
Yes. I think they need to do a little bit more work, get that ball onto the ring and then try and feed into her. She's got great height in there as a goal shooter, but sometimes if you don't work the ball to the ring, you're not making the most of that.
So you're still to face both of these teams as Ireland later on.
Yes.
In the tournament.
Great to watch it and have a look and see.
Vickery, big call there. Landed that one to Donovan, and she's saying, get to the edge of the circle, which is exactly what you were saying.
That's what she's saying.
So 4-4, 5 minutes gone in the first quarter here. Good pressure on the ball there. And Richardson. Ooh.
Oh, unlucky there, Flanagan. I thought she had that. It was good reading of the play then to come out for that ball. Nice screen in the ring by the shooters.
Oh, and there's one of those. Just made it in. But they all count. Gibraltar take a lead, 5-4. UAE centre pass. Oh, great defending by Ravina there.
Very well done. Again, they're trying to lob that in from just inside that third, and I really think they need to do a bit more work getting it onto that ring. Well done to Gibraltar for forcing them to make that play though.
Oh, putting a body on the line there, Flanagan.
I definitely remember her in Singapore being great at those flyers and coming out, so I see she hasn't changed, which is good to see.
You'd be glad you're down the opposite end to her.
Oh no, I'd much prefer to be on them, I think. It's always a good test. You want to be on the good players.
There you go.
Nice shot.
Pozo draws it level. Sorry, Gibraltar take another goal forward, 6-4.
Yeah, Gibraltar getting on a little bit of a roll here, which is good to see. Shooting accuracy's been great. Still a long way to go though.
Sarah makes no mistake. Confident shooting by the Gibraltar attack. This is all new territory for the UAE. Think about all the caps you have and some of your players have. These players, second international cap today.
Oh, okay, I didn't realise. So their first one was yesterday. That was their first cap.
Yeah,
okay.
So this is only the second time they've played as an international team.
And I hear they've got some England coaches, is that right? Some ex-England netball?
They have their assistant coach is Deb Jones, who lives and teaches in Dubai. Former England player, county player, so people will know the name. And then Liv Mason, the full coach of the UAE is Liv Mason, formerly I think with Loughborough Lightning, so again comes with a good netballing pedigree.
A lot of experience there, isn't there? And you can definitely see that with Gibraltar over the years when I think about when we first played them. How much they've improved, and they just seem to be improving year on year, which is brilliant to see.
I know Gibraltar will be really pleased. They've worked so hard as a netball association. 9-4 the score here. But Donovan pulls one back.
Great to hear the Gibraltars out here today cheering on their team as well. It's quite loud in here.
Gibraltar has a great hands there by Vickery. Great tradition of sport being so important in Gibraltar. We've heard that Gibraltar are thinking of putting a bid in to host the World Youth Netball Cup in 2025.
Fantastic.
Great defence again, that pressure on the ball. Taking their time. Working it down. It's good pressure by UAE forcing the long overhead. Floor just needs a quick clear up.
It is quite warm out there on court. When you're not used to it, coming from the Republic of Ireland where it's always so cold. It's warmer out there than you think. There's a lot of sweat going on.
It's definitely sunny outside, as you can see on the far corner of the screen. And certainly hot in here on the court. So 5 minutes to go. Really tight, contested game. Gibraltar leading 9-5. Great pressure again by the combination of Ravina and Reyes in there at the back.
Yeah, I think they rushed that one as well. They at least did the work then to get onto the ring, which was much better, but then they sort of rushed that pass into the goal shooter and it just wasn't on.
Flanagan looking to get the ball in, but again, good pressure down the court, forcing those long balls. Marino let that one roll. So Ravina brings it back on. Oh. Poser wanting that ball. And that's why. So 10-5. A host Gibraltar lead.
Much better play then by UAE.
Marino, very experienced player.
Very good rotation there for the Gibraltar shooters.
So just under 3 minutes this first quarter remaining. Pressure all the way down the court again by Gibraltar. Great tip.
Good pressure then. They were finding it struggling hard to get through that third then Gibraltar. United Arab Emirates doing well then.
So Chase with the opportunity. Opt to go around to Donovan. Pulled one back. Better finishing in this quarter now. 10 goals, plays 7. Their centre pass. Handling error, but Posers said thank you very much.
You've always got to have your goal defence and your wing defence ready for those resets. That was unfortunate that it slipped through her hands then. They could have got 2 goals in a row, and that may have been the turning point that they needed. Flanagan was amazing then, coming out for a tip on that ball.
There was a quarter yesterday when the UAE were playing the Isle of Man. I think it was the last quarter. There'd been quite significant gap being building by Isle of Man. UAE pulled it back to 5. Their centre pass, potentially 4, and they didn't score off it. And then the game pulled away, and there was a 10-gap goal. So it's those moments in the game which can be the decider.
And that's international experience as well. It's their second game. Yesterday was their first game, so they'll definitely learn from that. But it is being able to identify those points and to try and get those run-ons and really put the foot on and excel when that happens and not make your silly mistakes. Make sure that ball gets to the ring and you get that goal in. Sometimes easier said than done as well.
Well, it's easy sitting here and saying that, Jen,
it's great
isn't it?
sitting here, I tell you. It's brilliant. Good screen then by the UAE goal shooter. Straight into goal attack. Nice shot.
So, 2-goal game now. Just under a minute. Plenty of time for at least another goal. Let's see who's going to capitalise the strongest to go into this end of quarter. Pozo composed and successful again. 11-8. 20 seconds on the clock, still time. UAE's just got to be aware the clock's running down. The bench are calling for it to go in. I think everyone realises, apart from the players on the court.
Good work getting it to the ring though then. Nice defending by goal defence, but that's pulled up.
Literally 3 seconds to go. Are they going to get the shot away? Oh! Not sure the coaches would be happy with that choice.
I think that's again experience. As we're saying, it's a second international match. It's quite loud in here with the Gibraltar cheering them on. I think with experience they'll learn from that and know that get that ball in and try and get a shot in the last 3 seconds of the quarter.
So they go in at quarter time here in Gibraltar at the Victoria Stadium with the host and home team Gibraltar leading 11 against 8 for the UAE. Good comeback by the UAE in that quarter. It could have been a slightly different scoreline here. Early thoughts on the game?
Yeah, they did come back, which was great to see. I think they're both quite similar teams. They are playing very similar. There's a lot of pressure over most of the balls. Both teams making it hard to bring the ball through the court. It's not easy coming through the court. There is definitely some nice patches of play, but both teams I think are holding it up and making each team work really hard to get the ball in, which is great to see. But hats off to both teams. They're both taking the time to really try and work that ball through. I think Gibraltar's been a little bit more patient, and that's why they're up by 3 goals. United Arab Emirates just need to maybe settle down, do the basics well, make sure the ball is getting to the next person, and they're not trying to throw over the head of 3 or 4 defenders, which in this standard is just going to get picked off.
And with the experience of Ravino as captain at the back there for Gibraltar, some of those early high bombs into Donovan just weren't working.
Won't work. And Donovan's quite a bit taller as well than the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper's got loads of experience. She's been playing with Gibraltar for many years now, as long as I've been with Republic of Ireland. So,
which is rather a long time, Jen.
Am
I allowed to say that?
No, you're not allowed to.
But interestingly, we say that Ravino only has 18 caps.
Oh, really? That is very interesting, because I think, maybe she was. I thought she was playing 5-6 years ago when we were out here.
One of the challenges for countries like Gibraltar is not having the funding to go and play abroad as much as some other teams. And I know funding is a massive issue for teams like Ireland as well. Issue. But you have been away a couple of times this year. You've got a number of matches under your belts. So that experience and that exposure playing different styles of netball surely has got to count when it comes to an event like this.
Oh, 100%. I know we all often say we struggle because we don't get enough international matches, and it's playing 15 minutes where it's a full-on 15 minutes. You're working really, really hard for that entire 15 minutes. And look, we do get more than Gibraltar. We get more matches than Israel, so we're lucky in that sense, but we're still craving and wanting more. That said, it's really expensive. We can't also afford it. We have an issue with funding, and that's why we do have a lot of new girls here at this tournament, because I've just been to Hong Kong in February, which we won, which was an amazing tournament.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we're in Singapore in December, and we all fund and pay for it ourselves. So coming now to Europeans, we obviously want to come. We're all dying to be here, but it's a financial burden, unfortunately. But it's great. It gets some new girls and some experience, and we've got 3 new caps this tournament, which is great to see. I love seeing the new girls come out and play in their excitement and their nerves. So.
And Deb Jones, who was commentating with me yesterday, who is the assistant coach for the UAE, we said that when you look at the quality of international sport here, it's not all about just the top 10 or top 15 in the world. All the teams, and teams like yourselves at Ireland, 22 with your world ranking, pushing for that. There has to be organisations, companies, businesses, individuals out there who can see what the opportunity this is. It's not just sport, it's life-changing for so many people.
100%.
And if they are watching and they want to get in touch, I'm sure there'll be fantastic support from the teams welcoming that financial input.
Yeah, definitely. And look, I think if you're improving the teams ranked 15 to 22, that's only going to put more pressure on the teams who are higher ranked than that and lower ranked. And improve them as a team as well. So the more opportunities you can get as a team, these tournaments, the things you learn from and the experience you get, you just can't buy. So having the funding that you can attend these tournaments is great.
So both teams coming out, probably not surprisingly, not having made any changes at quarter time. We've got this second quarter here underway in Gibraltar. All to play for. Gibraltar leading 11-8.
Good hands there by Flanagan at the back. A nice tip.
Quick transition down court.
Great play then by UAE.
Into Donovan. Very good. Turn around 11-9.
Now let's see if they can get 2 in a row off this centre pass. It's important that they do keep this ball and make sure they score off it.
So those are the moments we were talking about just now. Critical moment here. Centre pass could narrow it to 1. Put a bit of pressure on Gibraltar. Great defence though by Gibraltar.
Great shot. Under pressure, that's when you need it. Now hopefully UAE can pinpoint what's going on here and try and step it up a notch. Brilliant play then by Gibraltar. A great triangle into their goal attack.
Just a bit. Unfortunate for Pozo missing that one. Ball handling. James Thomas umpire. Down this side of the court. Joe Lilly on the other. Great front cut by Ferrer. Oh. And the crowd's responding to lift Gibraltar. As you can hear, such a tight game. Only 1 goal in it. Oh, great defence there by Reyes. Talk about the crowd being the extra 8th player. Certainly feels like that now.
They definitely help, let me tell you, when you've got a home crowd advantage. Nice shot then by Pozo.
So it's tight and intense here, Victoria Stadium. Chase
Brilliant shot.
to pull it back to 1 goal. Now this is where so much learning happens on the international stage when games are this close.
It certainly does. And it's a mental toughness as well to be able to stay in the game, to still keep performing when it goes for goal for goal.
Porter held well. Finds Lewis. Kana putting big pressure on there, the wing D for Gibraltar.
Unfortunate error. Both teams making a few errors here, unforced errors. Maybe that's nerves, maybe it's the pressure.
Oh, unlucky.
We've been up and back a few times now without a score.
Sense who's going to grasp the moment, if you like. Oh, Bruno, good hands. Good spot by Donovan, but unsuccessful. Oh, unlucky.
Lucky rebound for them. Needs to get this goal in.
Throw in, UAE. What can Donovan do? Oof. Great pressure there. The back combination of Reyes and Ravino. Fortunate.
Lucky call there with the United Arab Emirates with the centre going offside. They've done the work to get the turnover.
Oh, nice. First to the back. Oh, so Level all here, 12 all. Second quarter into the last 10 minutes.
Nice play.
I think if you can hear the cheers of the crowd, I think that's Donovan's parents who are here watching here today.
Brilliant.
Kano calling for the baller. Not only, as we said yesterday, is she a talented netballer for Gibraltar, Wing D, she's also the 800-metre record holder here in Gibraltar and has been for 10 years.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
Boarding quite full for Pozo, so Flanagan brings it out for the UAE. Found some space to Lewis. Good pressure there by Marino. Again, experienced pairing the two sisters in its centre and wing attack. Perhaps slight inexperience showing with some of the unforced errors on the court. Great flying interception.
Yeah, there has been quite a few in the last sort of 5 minutes. I'm sure the pressure of these international tournaments, the experience, is what's causing them.
More pressure because you're the home host, do you think?
Yeah, sometimes there is. Sometimes you can put more pressure on yourself to want to perform, and especially when there's a crowd here. These girls are quite experienced, so for Gibraltar, I would say, well, I know I say experience. It's not as though they're a brand new team. There's a few girls that have been playing with them for years, but as you said, they haven't played a lot of international matches, and it's that type of experience. They're obviously never played UAE before, it's their first time, so for them it's a new, when you are playing a new team, you've got to make sure that you still try and play your game and you don't try and play the other team's game. And that can then make you create unforced errors. But again, that's experience. And look, they're going to learn a lot from this. Both teams will learn a lot from this game. They are very similar play. It's going to be interesting to see how it turns out after the 4 quarters.
So nothing to choose between them at this moment in time. 7 minutes remaining into half time. Gibraltar 12, UAE 13. It's fair to say a low-scoring quarter for Gibraltar. The UAE defence have really stepped up. So far 6-1 in this quarter to the UAE.
Wow.
So defensive unit down there. For UAE working effectively. So here comes Gibraltar. We want to get back on the score sheet on this one. Oh,
unlucky miss.
They've had the opportunity, but just hasn't fallen for them.
Again, that's a little bit of an unforced error that you don't want to see happening. A 3-second pull directly under the post.
Farah recognised she needed to move it quick, she did. Double penalty. Oh.
A few misses now from Gibraltar. They need to get that sorted and get their goals in.
13 plays 14. Gibraltar centre pass.
Let's see if Gibraltar can capitalise on 2 goals in a row and see if they can try and turn this quarter around in their advantage.
Marino sisters are the 2 most experienced players for Gibraltar, and we talk about caps. Janice has 22 and Joelle has 20.
Oh.
So still relatively newcomers to the international scene, but playing really well today.
And if you think about that, that's for them over 4 or 5 years. So it's not a lot of caps when you're adding that up compared to, I think I'm up to about 75, 80. So it's quite a difference.
I think you're over 80 actually.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Somewhere I have the list. I think you're. Are you the most experienced, or is Jan's got slightly more than you? I
Yeah,
think,
Jan and Neve's been up there as well. So Neve's
74, Neve.
Oh, Neve's
so
74.
You're 81. I think Jan's on 85 roughly.
Catching Jan, brilliant.
There you
She's got a few more years on me. Although I might be a little bit older than her, but in regards to Netball for Ireland, she's
Be
got
very
a few
careful
more.
what you say, Jen. So great turnover again by Gibraltar. Their defence working really well there at the back. Now, can they look after that ball? No unforced errors. Oof.
Great patience there by Gibraltar, working that around. UAE is right on their backs at the moment, aren't they? They're not giving anything away. The umpires are definitely having to do their job here.
UAE, I think, being given a caution there. Carly Lewis has to clean up the game. Pozo to bring the game back to within 1. UAE in the lead on 15. Gibraltar on 14, and their centre pass.
Again, an unforced error. Breaking there.
Oops, bit of a late challenge. Vickery looking for options. It's good pressure though by Gibraltar. Well done again. Ray's putting pressure on that ball. Chase prepared to have a go. Donovan keeps that pressure up as we head towards half time. 16 against 14. Great shot there by
just when they needed that shot. That was a great
Sarah
shot.
Donovan. Just sense Gibraltar need to refocus. Good D by UAE. Great cut there by Pozo, splitting the circling defenders.
Yeah, it looks like UAE is kind of doing a bit of a split ring in defence there with the goal defence and goalkeeper, but it doesn't seem to be bothering the Gibraltar shooters. They keep cutting through the middle. So I'm not sure whether they should try doing a little bit of man-to-man, maybe defending in the circle to see how that goes and see if they can force a lifted ball for the defenders to come through and try and get the intercept.
So last 2 minutes of this quarter. What a great start to the netball here this weekend. Game 4 underway.
That was very well done then by the wing attack to actually come forward onto that ball. If she hadn't have done that, Flanagan would have got that intercept and wouldn't have been pulled for the contact. But it is good skills and awareness to know that, to actually come onto that ball, and then it's her ball and the goalkeeper's out of play.
She'll get another go. Every single one of these goals is so important right now. Pozo gets the ball back. 17 UAE, 16 Gibraltar. Their centre pass. What can they do now? Important to pull this one back. Oh, Pozo was just there. Great baseline run by her. The crowd's going to go wild.
2 shots in a row, that's what they need.
Now, can they keep the threat, the UAE, out? There's still time. Just 7 seconds. The clock's running down. Are they aware they need to get that ball down?
Get that ball in.
So, what an amazing way to head to the benches at half-time here in Gibraltar. UAE 17 are hosts, and home country Gibraltar also on 17. What a great quarter for UAE though. They took that one 9-6.
Just brilliant quarter. I like that UAE came out fighting and they were able to take an early lead, but great to see that Gibraltar stay stuck in that, didn't lose their cool and were able to pull that back. It was a great quarter by both teams.
So here's where the interesting tactics of both teams take place, with the half-time being as it is. There is time to go off the court if you want. Some teams do, some teams don't. Is there anything better than the other from a player's perspective?
I've been part of teams that have done both, and it doesn't really bother me. It depends what's being said, but for me, I'm fine to stay where I am and not have to walk any more than I have to, but I think that's an age thing. I've been part of teams.
You're not that old. We're not talking really, really old.
No, but still to be playing international netball, I feel
are you able to?
I'm 38 years old.
38. So I think it's Isle of Man has a 39-year-old playing this weekend.
Great, I feel
and
young.
a 38 and a 37-year-old. So you're in very good company.
Okay, I don't feel so bad then.
There you go.
If that's the case. But I'd still prefer to sit on that ring.
Yeah, good understanding there by Chase and Donovan. Farrow, a long shot.
Nice shot. Great shot.
Vickery, big call there. Landed that one to Donovan.
Play then to come out for that ball. Nice screen in the ring by the shooters. It's always a good test. You want to be on the good players.
There you go. So people will know the name, and then they've made the heights and intense here, Tourist Stadium. Chase.
Turn over.
Oh, nice. First to the back. Oh, so. It's fair to
when you're adding that up compared to, I think I'm up to about 75, 80, so it's quite a difference.
Great shot there by
Jasmine.
baseline run by her. The crowd is completely demanding on your body, physically, the mental take, your commitment you have to make. Sarah Donovan is currently dealing with cancer.
Oh wow.
It's live, she's not in remission, she's under treatment, yet she's here.
Oh my
She's
goodness.
competing at this level, and we talk about sport and the emotion that sits behind it, and how it's not just about participating in sport, it's about
100%.
so many more things in life. And here we see, I mean, all these players, all of you put your bodies on the line, you make huge commitments, financial, family-wise, but you take someone like Sarah Donovan and you've got to go, that's special.
That's
unbelievable.
It is really. I didn't know that at all. So it's amazing to be able to do that, and still to be able to, and she's playing very well. She's doing really well. She's great at holding. She's making it hard work in there for the goalkeeper. Yeah, well done to her.
So I guess our message out there is, if you don't think for any reason you can't, think differently, because you can.
I'll stop complaining about my age now.
There you go. There is something to be taken that's remarkable about every single player who takes to an international court, in my view.
Amazing.
And the commitment.
And as you said, it is more than just coming here and playing. It's your little family. You spend so much time together before you get here. The buzz that you get from playing here and playing with, it's almost like your sisters to some degree. It's your family. So you do get a lot from these tournaments. You learn a lot about yourself on the court as well, and off the court. You have great fun. Look, there's emotional times as well. That's all part of a tournament. But you definitely don't want to miss them. It's great to see that she's here and that she could make it, and I wish her the well with everything she's going through.
We all wish her a speedy and a very good recovery.
Yes.
So if you were on either of the two benches and having to make decisions about substitutions, what would you do?
It's quite hard because I don't know their benches, because I haven't seen UAE before, and there's a few new players with Gibraltar. At one stage there in the first 5-6 minutes of that quarter, when Gibraltar were going down. I was contemplating whether the coach should have made a time and made a change then. They could have made a change, but again, I don't know what's on their bench, so it's hard to make that call. Yeah, I would almost be leaving it from what I've seen at this stage. I might be going to each unit or individual players and asking them to give me a few more things. As I said, for the UAE defenders, I'd like to see them, rather than doing a split ring and defending the space, as opposed to a player doing a little bit man-to-man, and seeing how that goes, or mixing that up, because I don't think it's really, I think the Gibraltar shooting is getting through that and cutting that open, and it's not bothering them too much. I also think both teams need to tighten up a bit with their 3 feet, even through the court. It's always hard when a game stop-start, when the whistle's blowing, and I find that's what's happening. I think that'll benefit both teams, or if one team can do that better than the other, that might be the advantage they need, that they can get the flow on if they're not being pulled up all the time. So get that little bit back further, make yourself 4 feet if you need to, and go from there. So just tidy up. And on the unforced errors, settle down a bit, make sure your pass is getting to your player. You don't need to rush things. If you need to do 5 more passes to get it to the ring, then do that.
And the game is so close, there's literally nothing in it. 17 each. UAE haven't played at this level before. We know this is only their second international test as a country in the world of netball. They won't have the experience about closing out the game, what to do when it is so close. Gibraltar, more experience, but as we've said, haven't got a huge amount of matches under their belt, probably less than people would think. Difficult to know how to call it.
Gibraltar still got that experience, where UAE, it's only their second international match. I remember my second international match, and you can sometimes put too much pressure on yourself because you so want to perform and do well yourself and for the team. So it will be interesting to see how they go, whether they can handle. It's another 30 minutes to go, 2 more quarters. It can be a long time in international netball. That's what may come down. It may come down to who's mentally the fittest and physically the fittest, and that may be experience, and maybe Gibraltar. It's a little bit hard to call at the moment, so interested to see how we go.
So we'll bring you the changes. We can see there's a few there from UAE, interestingly. We'll bring you all the changes as quickly as we possibly can once we get the details from the bench. Umpires calling the teams back, as you'd expect. So, as we said, nothing in it between the UAE and Gibraltar today. UAE not yet ranked in the world, haven't played enough games within a year to do that, clearly, only just arrived on the international scene.
And it's 8 games you need to play, is that correct, to get your international ranking? I'm sure Gibraltar will come out fighting after losing that quarter.
Flanagan, as you can see, Flanagan now out at goal defence. Porter's gone back to goalkeeper, just perhaps picking up on the point you made, Jen, about the shooter splitting the circle there, trying a slightly different tactic. Pozo starts really strongly. Good to get that one on the board.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, good pick up there. Now. Good play there by Lewis. Donovan holding a really good space under the circle. 18-all. Pozo. Try to put it up. Just needs a little bit more height. Good pressure by Gibraltar.
Great pressure there to really keep them up off the ring. Nice rebound there by the Gibraltar defenders.
So Ravina to bring it out.
Finding a little bit that there's sort of only one offer for every ball as they're bringing the ball down the court, and that would be for both teams. You'd ideally like to have at least 2 offers so that if you're not happy with the pass, you've got another option there available and it's then not made under pressure. Maybe that's why they're getting a few unforced errors for both teams.
Didn't quite take advantage of the double option in the circle there, but
Goal attack should always step that in if you get a obstruction call. I'm always stepping, getting closer.
Distance, absolutely. As a goal attack, I know exactly what you mean there. So Donovan,
nice shot, Donovan,
keeps the score level at 19 each.
So still going goal for goal this third quarter, which is interesting to see. Great movement there by the 2 shooters for Gibraltar. Again, she's not stepping that in, that goal attack. She should be stepping that right in. The umpire will call you back if they're not happy with where you step into. Great rebound for the goal shooter. Unable to push that up though, unfortunately.
Haven't set the
Look, she tried to go quick there, the goal shooter, and get that throw in off quickly, which I always like to see, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too quick and she was penalised.
Great defence there. So new combination in the circle. Go defence Ravino now. Okano back there, goalkeeper.
Brilliant defending by the Gibraltar defenders there. There's no option for UAE. That was great. Great work by the shooter there to find that space.
He's bringing the ball down. Corner now. Farah with a chance.
Brilliant shot. Just when they need it. Now it's Gibraltar centre again.
So 21 Gibraltar against UAE 19. Their centre pass. We'd want to see them just make sure they look after the ball, get good opportunity at goal. Not like that. Good hands by Porter though.
Great take by Donovan. She was under pressure then. Lucky to hang on to it.
Should be disappointed with that one. So on Gibraltar centre pass, they get another opportunity. Looks like another warning for UAE. It might be a caution first, is it? Then a warning.
Sorry, you're right.
You obviously haven't had any, Jen.
Oh, I've never, ever in my life.
So it looks like 2 of the UAE players on cautions now. Great shot by Amy Pozo. 22, Gibraltar, UAE on 19.
It's two misses now from Donovan. She needs to steady that shot, take her time. I know there's a huge amount of pressure on them though, that said as well.
Wonder, she obviously was uncomfortable with how close the keeper was. Do you think the keeper clearly putting some pressure on there?
Yeah,
ability to affect the shooter's confidence?
Yeah, it does. Look, I think the defenders on a shot have to mix it up and see what's putting them off, whether they're jumping it, whether they're holding still and reached out high above the ball. They're quite physical on them, so they're not giving Donovan any room to move. And she may not be used to playing like that, although the defenders down at her end, I'm sure she trains with them on her, would be pretty good at that as well. So in that sense, she has a bit of experience.
So Pozo again. Oh, unlucky.
Great rebound though.
Oh.
Both teams feeling the pressure. A few misses now in a row. Great shot.
They should be pleased that one dropped in. So 23 now, Gibraltar, UAE on 20. Gibraltar taking a little bit of a comfortable lead in this quarter, 6-3 so far. Nice pass by Chase, find Donovan under the post. (23-21). We're over halfway through this very competitive third quarter here in Gibraltar.
Great defence then by UAE, really keeping Gibraltar up on that third line.
Offside. So unfortunate. I think she thought it might have come off the UAE player, Marino. Not the umpire's view.
Court then by UAE.
Donovan gave herself much more space. Good rebound by Chase.
That goal is needed, so a good finish. UAE centre again.
Almost going against the flow of centre passes at the moment.
Isn't it? Unforced error again, a little bit of a break then on the centre pass. You definitely do not want to be giving that away at that point in time when you've got one goal and it's your centre.
I wonder what Joan Young would say if any of you did that in Ireland.
I know exactly what she would say. I'm not sure I can repeat it here on mic. Look, you are going to make errors. It's just making sure that you then recover from them. UAE just have. They've now got their ball in their ring, so hopefully they can put this shot up.
Interesting. Chase leaving it for Donovan. So we've got a tied game again. 17 all at half time. 23 all here. Just heading into the last 5 minutes of what is a very good game between Gibraltar and the UAE. Very well read by Flanagan again. Great rebound. Not quite sure whether they need to take the penalty. I think we're just waiting to get the court tidied up a bit.
3 people out. Didn't see that much.
Players will just be wanting to get on with it, I guess, won't they? So, I think your comment earlier about the one option It's noticeable at times.
Yeah, they're a little bit better in this quarter, I think, than the previous quarter, but they're still putting a lot of passes to their players under pressure when they've got a defender right on their shoulder or an arm coming through. And sometimes if you've got the second option, you don't need to do that. You've got the second option you can go to if you're not happy with that first pass.
Great choice of ball. And Pozo makes no mistake.
Pozo's having a great game. We've got some really good rotation in that ring for those shooters there, and that's really helping them out, getting past those strong UAE defenders.
So Vickery linking with Chase. Shooting combination and attacking combination for UAE's worked really well today.
It has.
Donovan.
Great rebound, Donovan.
This could be decisive later in the game. Takes the score 24-all. Just 3 minutes to go into three-quarter time.
A great tip by Flanagan. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to another teammate.
Great timing by Farah there, but sadly another miss. Really, it's great to see both teams competing for every single ball here. Really finding the space she needs in that circle. Pleased with that. I can understand why it takes UAE into the lead on there for centre pass, I was going to say.
I was going to say that's the second time that's happened now. They got a goal and then it was their centre pass and then they've made that unforced error. It's something they'll need to work on and improve for their next matches.
So 2 minutes, just under to go. It's good pressure by UAE. Mine. Oh, good pressure by UAE forcing that ball up.
Not happy with that call. I think it could have gone either way then, but Donovan was called for contact.
On the other way down this end. Can she take them a couple ahead? She can. 26 against Gibraltar 24. We're into the last minute of this game. And another great flying intercept by Liv Flanagan.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Gibraltar's getting a little tired in attack. They're starting to give a few more lifted balls, which is a lot easier for a defender to pick off. Flanagan loves those balls, and she's really coming into her own there as goal defence in that quarter.
Good options into the circle. 27 against 24.
3 in a row now for UAE. Can they get another one to make it 4? Brilliant pass into Donovan from the third line.
Clock just running down nicely from UAE's perspective. 28-24. Was that me, or I didn't hear the whistle on that one, did you?
No, well, I was just saying there was literally 2 seconds left as Gibraltar got into that centre circle for that centre pass.
I would have taken my time.
Yeah, you've got 3 seconds. Don't take that pass. Hang on to that ball. Wait for the umpires to call end of the quarter, and then it's your centre. Again, that's just experience. And not just the centre, the other players on the court can tell them and let them know. People on the bench can say, hang on to it, take your time getting back to that centre circle. It was interesting to see that it was even, the scores were even And United Arab Emirates got 4 goals in a row in those last a minute and a half, which is really good to see for a team that hasn't got international experience. That's what you want to be able to do, and that's what you want to be able to see. So that was really well done by them.
And from Gibraltar's point of view, you'd want them to have sensed that was happening and to really get in there and disrupt the flow of play,
100%.
try to break that down. So really interesting. We went in at half-time 17-all. UAE now 4 up, 24-28. Gibraltar were 3 up in the first quarter. So the game seems to be slightly moving in favour of UAE.
It does, yes. I mean, 15 minutes is still a long time to go.
Way.
But I think it was a good change that UAE made. They needed to make a change. I think both teams did make a change there, so they need to do something. So it'll be interesting to see whether Gibraltar keeps the team or changes it, and what UAE does. I'd say UAE probably should keep their team after winning that quarter by 4 goals. They've got to make sure sometimes the quarter times can come at the wrong time when you get a little bit of a run on as well. UAE had that run on, and I'd like to see that they can push on with that when this next quarter starts, and that the break doesn't work against them, which can happen. It's actually now their centre as well, because Gib did take that centre, so that's going to steady them. They've got to make sure they get that to that ring and they get that first goal in. They're up by 5. The other thing you see sometimes when teams do get up by 4 goals, 5 goals, and they haven't got a lot of experience, they kind of take the foot off the pressure. And at this standard, you can't do that. At international netball, you've still got to keep that foot on. You've still got to drive hard onto the ball. Don't start doing loopy passes if they're going to be picked off. So it'll be interesting to see whether they've got enough experience and drive to keep doing that, rather than settling back and taking it easy and think we've got a 5-goal lead, that's okay. Hopefully they won't.
As I say, 5 goals is literally 2 or 3 turnovers, and that's it. It's nothing.
4 at the moment. They've got to get that 5th goal anyway.
I know. So. Well, that's true. So could be back to 3. We'll see what happens. So the changes for UAE, as you say, switching Flanagan and Porter around really disrupted the flow of the ball into the shooters. They didn't quite know how to respond to the different play.
I think the ball was picked off before it got into the ring, and that was the advantage, as opposed to the defenders changing much once they got into the ring. But it worked. They got the ball intercepted before it got into those shooters.
And the change in the attack for Gibraltar, with Nune coming on in wing attack, taking a bit of time to settle perhaps?
Yeah, sometimes that can happen. Yeah, I think so. I found that both the teams were playing to one side of the court quite a lot rather than opening it up. When they did open it up and create that space, it was much easier to get the ball into the ring for both teams. They could set up triangles. The shooters could hold their defenders for the ball to swing and then come in. So if they can identify that and play a little bit smarter, both teams, and not get stuck on one side of the court and open it up, I think that'll help both teams as well.
So just waiting for James Thomas, one of our 2 umpires today, to start the game. As you rightly say, UAE centre pass, last 15 this game.
Important goal right here.
Interesting to see Donovan out the circle. Haven't seen that a lot in this game so far. Great feed, finding Chase. Now,
They did need that goal. They might still get an intercept and turn it over.
Let's see how Gibraltar...
There's no drive coming through the middle of the court there by Gibraltar. They're doing a lot of side passes. Someone needs to drive and go hard for that ball.
It's almost like a brick wall of white out there at the moment.
It is.
Great option for Pozo. Oh. So the UAE have got another chance to score the centre pass.
They do. I think that's the pressure there for those shooters. It's an important game for both teams.
Wow, good hold by Donovan.
There we go. They steady there and she gets that goal in, which is good to see.
So 29 plays 24. Oh, really putting her body on the line there, Richardson. Great intercept.
Great intercept, but I think that pressure came from her UAE defender with the 3 feet over the pass. She had so much pressure on that pass, it was a little bit loopy and it gave her time to get in there and get that intercept.
Replay. So as we can see, Gibraltar opted to go back to their starting attacking combination. So Marino back on at wing attack.
Yeah, I think it's a good change. Go back and see how that they get on for this quarter. They did need to make that change after losing by 4 in those last minute and a half.
Great defence there by Porter and Flanagan putting pressure on. And down the other end, Gibraltar opted to go back to their starting combination of defenders.
Good pressure then by the Gibraltar goalkeeper. Unfortunately, it's to UAE's pass. So Gibraltar is yet to score. And we're almost 3 minutes into this. We are 3 minutes into this quarter.
Great defence by Gibraltar. They'll get another go now. Okano will be disappointed with that.
She will be. Is that tiredness?
Vickery and Lewis linking well outside. Great cut there by Chase. Like to see goal attacks taking that front space. So Reno. Steadying the ship. Difficult to stand and take the ball like that though. Gives a bit too much opportunity for defenders.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to be standing still. You want to make sure that you're moving and you're running onto a ball. When you're standing still, it's much easier for a defender to read that and come through with the intercept.
So Farah gets Gibraltar onto the scoreboard in this quarter.
Great big cheer then from the crowd. Gibraltar will need that.
29 against 25.
Good tip of the goal defence. Unlucky there to be called as contact.
Great rebound. Warning time.
Another caution, is it?
Looked like it was. I'm not quite sure what for, to be honest. We know the umpires watch the game from very different angles to we do, so Bouter there.
And they obviously
decision making.
Hear a lot more than we hear as well. There is quite a lot of talk that goes on between the girls and teammates. Usually always nice.
Reacted by Poser. Could have been anybody's ball. She'll have it and say thank you very much. 29 against 26. So good for Gibraltar. Back to their centre pass.
You can see the Gibraltar centre, Marino. She's trying to lift her girls. She's trying to get them pumped up.
That was a real display of effective coming around the ball by Vickery there at wing attack for UAE. Let's see. Great.
Donovan needs to steady and put this shot in. Great shot. They needed that one.
So 2-2 this quarter. Leaves the gap at 4. 30 playing 26. Good pressure by defenders there, Ravina and Rowe.
Yeah, I think UAE just rushed that a little bit. They could have done a couple more passes. You don't want to be forcing a ball into a shooter with 2 defenders on them. Not ideal at all. Gibraltar's finding it really hard to get over this third line. UAE is doing great defence of keeping them up there at that line. There's not much drive coming through. We need
Playing
someone
more an off-man defence at the moment.
Even if they can have an attacker drive straight through the middle of the court and drag a defender to open that court up for them.
Nice. Intelligent play by Joao Marino there.
Showing her
Fantastic.
experience.
Absolutely.
Very quick hands, a quick 1-2.
And their centre pass. Only 3 in it.
Again, this is a turning point in the game. This is where Gibraltar need to identify what's going on and make sure they score from this ball, from this centre.
I can feel myself getting tense. Well, it's called the interesting advantage or not by the umpire.
Great tip there by their goal shooter to keep that ball in.
Nice. Oh.
They're going for
more
everything.
bodies on the ball, on the floor here.
It means a lot to both teams. You can see they're fighting for everything here.
You see the coach, assistant coach Deb Jones in the background. Slight different demeanour than some other coaches we see. Interesting to hear her views after the game. So just 7 minutes to go. Nice pop to Chase. Oof. Offside called in the circle. Again, that attention to detail missing on occasion.
It'll be interesting to hear the coaches chat after the match because they all would have seen each other play yesterday. I think Republic of Ireland were the only guys that didn't have a match yesterday, so they would have seen each other play. Be interesting to hear their team tactics and what they went into and whether they were able to stick to the plan or not. Great intercept then by Flanagan.
So Chase has an opportunity to take a team further ahead. Donovan going to take it. And UAE 31, Gibraltar 27, UAE centre pass. Nice pop. There we go, gap opening up slightly now. 32 plays 27. It's been a few minutes now since Gibraltar scored.
It has, and they really need to get a score on the board. That's at 5 goals that we were talking about before this quarter started. Gibraltar's just really stopped their drive in their goal third. Their goal shooter and goal attack are not coming out as much as what they were, and then the wing attack and centre are on that third line trying to get the ball through, so they're not in the third to then drive through the middle as well. Now that's great defending by UAE. You've got their centre, their wing defence and their goal defence all across the top of that circle line and really flooding that space so they've got nowhere to go. That creates a lifted ball, which then gives UAE a chance to come through with the intercept as well. So it's a great team tactic and they're doing it very well.
So just under 5 minutes remaining of what has been the closest game of the tournament so far. Oh. Yeah, I think we know what the crowd's thinking. Now, how is Amy going to hold or turn? Let's see. Oof.
She didn't have much room there to get that ball off, so the umpire just calling it back to give her a little bit of space there for that pass.
Better positioning there.
Nice
the screen. Oh.
I think Pozo thought she might get a contact from the defender from behind with putting that ball down. International netball, you cannot play to the umpires. You have to wait until the whistle is blown and they make a call. So you do not put the ball down outside the court unless the whistle is gone and there's a reason to. Again, that's experience, and she's quite young, so she will learn that now. You do it once and then you well and truly learn.
We were always coached, if you don't hear the whistle, you keep playing.
100%, and you chase every ball down. Absolutely. As well.
Because every single turnover, every tip counts in that
As we've
hours
seen
game.
today, that took
Absolutely.
them. It's a turnover to Gibraltar.
So a low, very low scoring quarter this. So it's really been a mixture of good defence, unforced errors. At the moment, 4-3 in this quarter.
We've got just over 3 minutes.
And we've
and
scored
it's
7 goals.
7 goals. That's the pressure that's going on, and that's both teams, hands over every ball. But I'm wondering whether Gibraltar maybe should have called a time and made a change. They're down by 1 this quarter. It was 4 coming into it, and now it's 5. Again, it's a hard call. Depends what the bench has got. Depends what legs they've got as well, how tired they are.
Telling Farah doesn't want to take the penalty.
Calm and collected by Pozo. It was a great shot when they needed that.
So gap back down to 4. And 4 all in this quarter.
Great pressure then from Gibraltar. They're making UAE pass it back. They're having to work hard in this centre third just to even get it into the goal third.
Crowd doing their best to live, the Gibraltar side.
Long shot by Donovan.
Brilliant. What a time to land that one.
Brilliant. That's exactly what you need at this time.
33-28, just 2 minutes to go now. Slightly out of reach Gibraltar, do you think, Jen?
Yeah, I think so. I just think Gibraltar, whether they're tired or hoping to get a few more calls from the umpire, I'm not sure. They're hanging onto the ball a little bit longer and not releasing it like they were in the first 3 quarters, so that's slowing them down and that's giving the defenders time to come around and then cover their shooters and their attack. But that's also the credit to the defenders of UAE, because they're making it feel like there's no space in there, that it's crowded, that there's no options, that they're having to force a pass to somebody they don't want to pass to.
Oh, go, both teams going for absolutely everything on that court. Good option. Yes. So,
Lovely shot.
29 Gibraltar, 33 UAE. Down to possibly the last couple of centre passes. Quite a low-scoring game overall.
It is. But the intensity has been high the whole way through these 4 quarters. Both teams having to work extremely hard to get that ball into their goal ring.
So we're literally now last 30 seconds. We're not sure the score is going to change in Gibraltar's favour. In fact, UAE just pulling away now slightly.
Their centre, can they get one more?
Rightly holding time. There's the space. Good screen for Chase. Well seen by Lewis. Last few seconds. We'll really get that ball down into the circle. But it's not to be. And at the end of what has been a very closely competed game here in Gibraltar, the UAE take their first win as an international country, 35 against Gibraltar's 29. And that last quarter, we talked about low scores, 7-5 to the UAE in that. So, thoughts of the game, Jen?
Yeah, it was a great game. It was really good to see. The intensity was great throughout. Every team fighted for every ball and worked really, really hard. Yeah, there was a lot of pressure there. I was happy to see UAE actually come through and win that in the end. I think they probably did deserve to win it, especially in that last quarter. They obviously did the work. I think they made the right changes throughout the game. Also sad to see Gibraltar lose by so much in the end. That can happen when you get to these type of matches. A couple of minutes, you can get 3 or 4 goals on the scoreboard and it pull out by 6 in the end. But yeah, I thought both teams did really, really well.
Splitting the circle there, trying a slightly different tactic. Pozo starts really strongly. Donovan holding a really good space under the circle. Farah with a chance. Gave herself much more space. Good rebound by Chase. Great choice of ball. And Pozo makes no. Can she take them
to a ball? When you're standing still, it's much easier for a defender to read that and come through with the intercept.
Great.
Donovan needs to steady and put this shot in. Great shot.
Nice pop.
Long shot by Donovan.
Oh,
brilliant.
What a time to... Good option. Yes.
Lovely shot.
Most valuable player, but thoughts?
I thought Pozo, goal attack for Gibraltar, did really, really well. She's such a young player. So I thought she was definitely a standout for me. I'd be interested to see their shooting stats. I'm not sure how much they get involved with being new to international matches and things like that, and sometimes that's too much pressure to put on them. But I thought she did play very well. Her movement was great in there. She was great at coming forward for the ball, setting up triangles. The rotation was really, really good.
Okay, well that is brilliant. Jen, it's been fantastic having you with us today. Thank you so much, especially straight after that game. I won't tell the viewers you haven't had a shower yet, but I'm sure you're going to go and get yourself ready for later on. So that's it, second game of the day, and what a fantastic game it was. UAE take their first victory as an international side, 35 against the hosts Gibraltar 29. But don't go away, we'll be back here later on at 5 o'clock where we go live again, where we see UAE taking on Israel, and then Jen, you'll be back on court, hopefully Ireland v Isle of Man at 7 o'clock. So lots to come back for. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to have you with us later on this evening.